If you own silver, this week is not about being right. It's about staying in the game. In the last 48 hours, precious metals just put on one of the most violent moves you'll ever see. And when volatility explodes like this, the rules change. Silver stops behaving like a calm store of value and starts behaving like a leveraged trade. That's great on the way up and brutal on the way down. As I record this, spot gold is around 4,187 per ounce, down hard from recent highs. Spot silver is around 84.60 per ounce, down roughly 30% from the spike near 120. And the gold to silver ratio is moving fast, sitting near 57.7 to 1. Translation: the market is paying you less and less for each ounce of silver relative to gold. So the question is simple. Do you keep all your silver through the storm, or do you convert a slice into something that falls slower when panic hits? Here's my answer for a risk-managed holder: a partial swap. Move about 20% of your silver exposure into gold this week, not because gold is better, but because gold is lower beta. In plain English, gold is the parachute, silver is the rocket. When the air gets turbulent, you want at least one parachute. Now, quick disclaimer in one sentence: this is education and a framework, not personal financial advice. Let's talk about why the swap makes sense right now. Just a few days ago, the ratio pushed to a multi-year extreme, with silver priced richly versus gold. When that happens, mean reversion is a real force. Silver can drop faster than gold, even if the long-term bull story remains alive. And that's exactly what we just saw. Silver gets hit by forced selling, leverage unwinds, and thinner liquidity. Gold gets hit too, but it usually absorbs the shock better. The mistake most people make in moments like this is thinking in headlines. Silver crashed, therefore sell everything. Or, silver is on sale, therefore buy everything. Both are emotional. What you want is a rules-based plan with small, reversible decisions. So here's your action plan for this week, broken into clear steps you can execute. Step 1. Define your objective in one line. Are you a long-term physical holder who wants protection and staying power? Or are you a short-term trader chasing the next spike? If you're long-term, your job is to survive volatility without being forced out at the worst time. Step 2. Inventory your exposure. How much of your silver is physical in your possession, how much is in an account, and how much is paper exposure like ETFs or futures? The swap is easiest and cheapest in liquid products, and slowest and most expensive with physical coins and bars. Also note taxes, premiums, spreads, and shipping are real costs. The point of the plan is protection, not perfection. Step 3. Set your swap size and your no-regret rule. The plan is 20%, not 50, not 100. 20% is big enough to matter, small enough that you won't hate yourself if silver rips higher tomorrow. This is what professionals do. They don't try to time the exact bottom, they manage the distribution of outcomes. Step 4. Choose the method. If you hold paper silver, the clean method is to sell 20% of that position and buy gold exposure with the proceeds, same day, same account, so you don't drift into cash by accident. If you hold physical silver, the clean method is not sell your favorite coins into a bad spread. The clean method is to convert a portion through a reputable dealer or to pause and do the swap using new cash and gold while you keep physical silver intact. Either way, you're targeting your overall portfolio balance, not the emotional attachment to specific pieces. Step 5. Use the ratio as your steering wheel, not your religion. The ratio was around 46 to 1 recently, and now it's pushing higher. If the ratio climbs above 65 to 1, that's a sign silver has likely moved back toward a more normal relationship with gold. At that point, pause further swapping. You've accomplished the goal. You reduced risk during the storm. If the ratio is still below 65 and volatility stays high, execute the initial 20% swap and then stop. Don't keep clicking buttons every hour. Overtrading is how you bleed. Step 6. Watch the levels that matter, but don't worship them. For gold, identify a nearby hold zone. If gold stabilizes and starts holding above a key level, it tells you the broader metal's bull structure may still be intact, even if silver is whipping around. If gold breaks and stays weak, consider temporarily increasing cash by another small slice, like 10%, until the market calms. Not because cash is exciting, but because optionality is powerful in chaos. Step 7. Prepare for a second flush. When markets move this violently, there is often a secondary wave of forced selling as new requirements hit and weak positions get cleaned out. That second flush is where panic gets loud. Your goal is to be calm when others are forced. Before you execute anything, I want you to understand the trade in human terms. Gold to silver ratio means this: how many ounces of silver it takes to buy 1 ounce of gold. When the ratio is falling, silver is outperforming. When the ratio is rising, gold is outperforming. In the last couple of sessions, the ratio rising is the market telling you, loudly, that it prefers the quieter metal. Now 3 quick scenarios for this week and what to do in each. Scenario 1. silver keeps sliding, gold holds. That is the classic parachute works environment. Your 20% swap does its job. You do not add more swaps unless your pre-written rule triggers. You let the market burn off leverage. Scenario 3. Silver snaps back violently. That can happen after a flush when forced selling ends. If that happens right after you swap, do not feel regret. Remember, you kept the majority of your exposure. The purpose was stability, not bragging rights. If the ratio falls back sharply and calm returns, you can revisit the balance later. Let's also clear up a common confusion. Why not swap everything if gold is safer? Because silver's upside is exactly why you own it. A full switch is an all-or-nothing bet. A partial swap is risk management. It protects your base while keeping your upside alive. Now, execution detail matters. Here are the two biggest traps. Trap 1, paying a massive spread in physical. If you walk into a high-stress market with rare coins and you accept a terrible bid, you may lock in a loss that had nothing to do with the metals move. Always compare buy and sell quotes, and remember that the dealer spread is part of your return. If the spread is ugly, the smarter move is to rebalance with your liquid holdings instead. Trap 2, turning a swap into a timing contest. People try to wait for the perfect candle. That's how you miss the plan and end up reacting to noise. If you've decided on 20%, execute in one clean action or in two halves, like 10% now and 10% after the next session opens. Pick the method that keeps you calm. Here's a simple example. Say your metals exposure is the equivalent of 10,000 in silver. The plan is to move 2,000 into gold. That means you're not guessing the next tick. You're reweighting your risk. The result is that a brutal silver day hurts less, while your long-term participation remains. And one more voiceover-friendly rule you can repeat like a mantra this week. No new decisions without a written trigger. Your triggers can be ratio-based, like 65-1, or volatility-based, like 2 consecutive hard-down sessions. But they must be written before the next wave hits. If you do only one thing after this video, do this. Write your triggers, then follow them. Now let me give you a simple 7-day checklist you can follow without staring at charts all day. Today, write your one-line objective, inventory your exposure, and decide your swap method. Monday, execute the 20% swap early in the week, not at the end, so you're not reacting to late week surprises. Tuesday, do nothing except monitor the ratio and the direction of gold. If you feel the urge to fix everything, step away. Wednesday, review your costs. Spreads, premiums, and fees are part of the real return. If the swap cost is too high in physical, adjust by swapping paper instead, or by using new cash for gold. Thursday, stress test your portfolio. Ask one question. If silver drops another 15% in 2 days, do I still sleep at night? If not, the issue is position size, not the news. Friday, consider a rebalancing rule. If silver rebounds and the ratio falls sharply, you may reverse a portion later. Not this week. Later, when calm returns. Weekend. Lock in your plan for next week. Decide the conditions that would make you add, hold, or reduce. Then stop. Here's the key mindset shift. This is not a call to abandon silver. It's a call to treat silver like what it is in moments like this, a high volatility instrument that can make you rich or make you reckless. Gold is not the winner. Gold is the stabilizer. If you want the simplest version of the strategy, it's this. Keep most of your silver, swap a measured slice into gold, and keep a small pocket of cash as dry powder. That way you're protected if volatility continues, and you're prepared if opportunity appears. And if you're wondering, what if I swap and silver immediately rockets back up? Then you still win because you kept 80%. You didn't rage sell the bottom. You didn't get shaken out. You simply made your portfolio harder to break. One last thing. Don't confuse being early with being wrong. In violent markets, the best decision is often the one that keeps you flexible. If you want, comment the word swap and your current ratio number. I'll reply with the next 2 ratio zones to watch and the exact decision rule to use without guessing.